kind of.
Yeah, scoot on over. Okay. I hate this mouse.
Oh, I think we're live. I think we're live.
Cowlazars and K-Pro.
I think we're live.
Trying to do our live show. But we have kids, and that's why we're late today, everybody. I think we're live. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
We got it to work. So we had literally just walked in the door.
Literally.
The boys had swim lessons. You know, life just gets in the way.
Life. Look,
This command center is a mess, I'll tell you that. All right.
Oh,
How's everybody doing?
There.
Welcome to the show. Say hi, Chris.
I don't know why he has
What's
that.
up with the broom? That's probably not a good sign.
That's not-
What are you sweeping up?
I accidentally stepped on a Cheez-It.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Thank
nice. There you go. Okay, so.
you. We are live, right? Everybody can hear us? K-Pro's
K-Pro,
too loud.
okay.
I think that's just a running
Shame
joke
on
at
you.
this point.
Shame on you.
Nah.
Yeah.
K-Pro's just naturally loud. It's all right, everybody. Sorry. It's sorry.
Anagram can say because Anagram doesn't get in trouble.
And we don't know who that is in real life. Okay. So today is Thursday, 6:36 p.m. So we're a little bit late. And you guys know what that means. World Series of Poker. Did you guys go watch the finals? On not over there, but we did on TV. Yeah, for sure, William.
Yeah.
6:36 p.m. Thursday night means coffee with K-Pro and Cal.
Oh.
And here we go.
Here's my coffee.
Thank you for the huge coffee cup.
Look who's behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And there it goes.
So today we were going to open that Thrill of the Chase book up. But first, how you doing, K-Pro?
I am great, and I just got off work. And those of you I want to thank, Thor got a little ornery today, and I have not been able to get into my control panel to throw down the Thor hammer of banning or whatever consequences. So just clean it up before I get there. That's all I ask. I asked everybody just delete stuff. I couldn't get into the control panel, but I could post. So thank you those that were like, you're usually up there all the time. I'm on a secret mission right now, and I'm not up there all the time. So some people text me, some people emailed me on some of the ones that aren't public, so thank you. But I'm not up there yet. So especially the cursing, I can tell you that's a no-no. So anyway.
What happened? The cursing? What cursing?
There's this site called hintofriches.com.
I got you. Okay.
You posted on there today.
I've been in there once or twice.
Yeah, so it got a little crazy today.
I didn't even post a link everywhere. Let me post it before we get going
He's
here.
getting going. Okay, so as he's doing that, I will talk about what we are going to be doing. So there's this book. It's called The Thrill of the Chase by a little-known person, Forrest Fenn.
All right. Let me send him the link, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I put it over there, too.
You did?
So, no, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So what we have decided is we've talked about the poem. We have talked about all other things and meetups and Forrest Fenn, what did he say at this event and that event, and what did he say just recently at Fenbury, and we have decided to jump into the Thrill of the Chase. For those of you that don't know, I own 7 copies of the Thrill of the Chase.
Is it 7?
Yeah, I think 7.
Kooky. How many do you need to solve the poem?
As many as it takes, and no one has solved it, so we don't know yet.
That's
so
true.
that would be a hypothetical question.
How many licks does it take? Remember that one?
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Remember the owl? Yeah. You've been wise and found the blaze? Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, it's been that kind of day. Things have been going wild and crazy.
Yeah.
So what we decided to do is we're going to jump into this book. The wonderful thing is, and I don't have mine with me, but Mike has a searchable version. I have a searchable version. And so
I don't have a searchable version. No, I do. I do. That's probably not a secret, but so here's the deal, guys. We're going to show our Word document, which is the Thrill of the Chase typed out, but don't email me asking for it, so I'm not going to send it to you. Because 1, you have to own your own copy of the Thrill of the Chase, and 2, type it out yourself or get it from somebody. I'm not going to send it to people because I don't want any copyright issues or any of that stuff.
We don't want federal investigators coming.
Yeah, so don't ask me for it because I'm not going to send it to you.
I have mine on Word Doc. See, William has one. So William
wanted
me to tell everybody, please email him and go to his house and visit his family and visit his work. He likes that. Just kidding, William. So anyway, but if there is, we'll leave some time. Toby used to do this. He used to do do you want us to search a word down for you? We have the first words that we want to search down. So we think there's certain words that are key. See what it did there? See what it did there?
Otherwise known as keywords. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we have a couple that we want to dive into tonight. But if there's a particular word you would like to jump into and ask about, we can do a search for those as well. We think the first question is that subtle enough? So let's say the word is wise, and we find wise in TTOTC. Is that subtle enough that is the one that relates?
Well, and I thought of this today because, so instead of reading chapter by chapter, what we wanted to do was search for words in the poem, just like Kate Pro said. And then I had the thought, well, but if the word brown is in the book, which it is, I believe, or the word blaze, or one of these key words, warm waters, well, then that's not subtle. How is that a subtle hint? But it could be a subtle hint in the way he uses it. In other words, if he uses the word brown in a sentence, it may be subtle because it doesn't explicitly say, this is what home with brown means.
His wife has brown hair. And,
there you go.
Something related to his wife that's related
Chestnut.
to a poem. That's
I
related,
don't know. So, okay,
Okay,
right.
so that's why, yeah.
Everybody on the same page? We get what we're doing here? All right,
Search for try the wheel.
Hey, let's see if the word wheel is in the book. We're going to do that, actually. Who put that?
See,
Who put
3D
that in
bronze,
there?
see what happens? Yeah, 3D bronze.
Good idea. Or how about try? How about it? What if the words try, the, and wheel were on the same page but separated?
Oh
you know
my
what
gosh,
I mean? There's so many
it would be
things.
breaking news,
Yeah.
and we would have to run for it. Where would
right.
we run? We have no idea, but we would run somewhere.
Looks like we locked up over here. Do you guys still see us over there? Let me see.
See, I'm here.
I know. It's probably just we haven't been on the command center all week, so this thing needs
Things
to warm
have
up
been
or
wild
something.
and crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Try two
All
single
right.
parents with kids and 2 different jobs and craziness and different places than you used to be and all that.
So we want to share the screen. Now, where's my Word doc? There it is. Boom.
Okay. Boom.
Boom in your face.
Wait, I think, do we want to talk, that one thing that I wanted to talk about before we even jumped into that was postmarks versus illustration versus pictures.
Yeah.
Do we care? Does it matter?
Does it matter in your solve, illustration or a postmark or an actual picture? Now, this is just a Word doc. Somebody, I won't say who, has tried to add some of the pictures so you get the idea of where they are in the book. But this is really just about having a searchable copy of the Thrill of the Chase.
I like this question.
And we own many copies, so the
Yes.
keyword will disprove many solves.
No, here's one. Does all the missing, this is what William said, do all the missing letters spell something in TTOTC? Example, like knowledge. So if you,
I got
dollar,
you. And probably Susie Fenhaven's probably done something like that. Isn't somebody
Susie
did a video on
Fenhaven
those.
is in here, so that might be a fun little
If you have a video, link it, Susie, or email it to me, and I'll show
No, but if you
people.
haven't done it, tell us, and maybe that's our new rabbit hole because of William.
People have done, no, it may have been on Chase Chat. People have done this, and I think of the word Hawaii.
I'm sorry, where?
Yeah, people have done this. They've taken all the letters that are missing in the book, and they've kind of put it together. But it was Hawaii, but there were letters spelled left over, so I don't know.
And that meant, I do remember someone saying Hawaii.
Yeah,
and I
right.
thought, that means we all need to go to Hawaii.
You're right.
Mike, you need to take me to Hawaii. It was a part of
business
the
trip for the Grand Adventure Facebook group. That's right.
That's awesome.
Anagram, I did not type the whole book into a Word document, but some people are speed typers. Some people can just speed typers. Some people can just, knock it out, and that's what was done. So,
yeah. So there you have it.
Who never thought of that
Look
before?
at this. Mike's book, in case you guys don't know.
That's a
it's
long
like
story.
torn pages
There's
that
some
are
ripped
all
pages.
taped in. Did you follow some of these crazy people? Oh, and they're ripped in a certain way. Okay, this is
That was from, what edition is that? What year? Or what revision? Is that what it is? What printing? That's the word I'm looking for.
printing.
Fourth
it is fourth printing.
No year, but the fourth printing. So that's how
Fourth
far
printing.
back I go.
Fourth printing. That's how
There's
he
no
rolls.
D in Hawaii, so knowledge. Well, that killed that, didn't you, William? Yeah, you sure did. And that's what I said. There were like letters left over.
Oh, so where else are we going to go?
All right, but I will say this: thumbs up for having a searchable copy of The Thrill of the Chase. Subscribe to the channel. Super Chat's on. Okay.
Thumbs up. Tell your business colleague. I don't tell my business colleague, but I love when Toby's like, tell your business associates and this and that. And I'm like, tell everyone you're a treasure hunter. See how far that goes.
And Wildcatter's daughter says, I have started typing it into a Word doc. And it would just make sense. I mean, if we know there are hints in The Thrill of the Chase, so why not have a searchable copy if there's a word you want to... How many times is the word rain in the book? How many times and where is the word clue in the book? A searchable copy just helps. That's all.
Well, and Matt, Wildcatter, please do understand though, autocorrect does come on. So
Yeah. You got to make sure it's all
ready for that.
spelled as it is in the Thrill of the Chase. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you fat finger something, then when you go to search it, it's not going to find it.
Okay, Giono asked, does Forrest say there's a key word in the poem, or I think he just says there's a word that is key?
That is correct.
I think he has said both. Now, it's all second and third hand information, and we don't have the audios of that.
Right.
So I would say that I have heard him say there is a key word everyone is missing. He did not say it was in the poem, but I
Right.
do think someone heard him say the poem. And I think that
So
there's...
you actually heard him say this in person?
Oh, crap. Maybe. I don't know. I take it
You
back.
don't want to remember? Yeah, okay.
I don't want to remember.
But he's definitely said there is a word that is key. I mean, that's in the quote on Terry Scant and everywhere else. I don't think he's ever said there is a key word in the poem. I don't know if he's actually said those words or, anywhere.
A word
So-
that is key. I think that's how
Yeah, a
I
word
put it.
that is
A
key.
word that is
what
key.
it is. So how about the word key? All right, look, everybody. Let's just give you an example of how this works. We go to our handy-dandy Word doc.
Oh,
We put in
control
key.
Monkeys!
Now, monkeys. Well, that doesn't
grab
count.
every banana. And
Yeah,
and
hey,
there's
we
some
just
crazy
tied
site
that
that
in.
talks about the
Right.
banana today.
And
all
the
that.
second word, drum roll,
There we go.
key. Oh, indecision is the key to flexibility.
So you need to
And
be
that's why I
indecisive.
waited so long. Ooh, and look at that picture. Ooh.
Ooh.
Photoshop, isn't that a
Ooh.
big thing? Is it Photoshopped or not? But anyway.
Oh, I've had a whole discussion.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys get the idea. If there's
Okay.
a word that you would like us to search,
Okay.
put it in the chat.
We're
But we're going to go
wheel.
through some words.
Put in wheel.
Oh, put in wheel.
Just
all right.
wheel. Let's see where we're
Let's
at.
see.
But there are some keywords that we actually want to focus on.
Yeah, words from the poem.
And
Steering
here-
wheel.
There is something I want to say that's totally off topic, but I think important. I have been going in every week, and most of the weeks I go in with my son to AJ's Priddles. If you have any child, and
This is
AJ
misspelled
keeps
right
it very clean, he is now focused on riddles. He tells Mike riddles, he tells me
Oh, yeah.
riddles, he tells everybody riddles constantly. He looks them up,
Oh, yeah,
and he
yeah,
is
yeah.
addicted to riddles. So I wanted to say a huge shout out to AJ, even though it's like a room of adults that are trying to solve these riddles for treasure hunts. Do it with your kid, because your kids are so... Talk about... I mean, Forrest already said that, but huge shout out to AJ. He's on Mondays just before our show, and it's awesome. So anyway, he's like lit up my son in riddles are the way. He just needs to develop his brain more, and then he can solve the Forrest Fenn hunt. So anyway, that's my shout out to AJ. So let's... Okay, where are we... Where are you, my friend?
We put the word wheel in the Thrill of the Chase because somebody already said, check out Try the Wheel.
And William has said a pile of coins is a double image.
Turn it down, Eric, all the way.
And that is 100% true because
You
it's
talking
true.
about a Photoshop image?
The one that we saw
Yeah, I
that had all
gotcha.
the coins.
I could have just been the editor of the book, but we're not going there today, right? We're just talking about
Yeah,
words
you
in
know
the
what,
book.
William, put an earmark on that because I have had a certain discussion about photoshopping, and Forrest did answer me, and then when I saw that, I was like, how can this be? Because look at this, it's obviously photoshopped, and he talked about illustrations, and I've had a discussion with him on that that we will revisit, but not today. Okay, so yeah, AJ, the Priddler, that's my son today.
So the word wheel.
Okay, where it is. Okay, look for a few seconds to recover and realize that the axle of both front wheels had gone in Cody. Some people believe...
Cody, Wyoming.
That,
Yeah,
well,
what?
some people believe that the car is actually there. Bullet is actually up there near where the treasure
Didn't
is.
Bill Gorman
so
find it already?
every week.
Yeah. Well, he's got something he found.
No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
so that's that one. And then where's the other? Okay, we did that for miles, and occasionally he'd jump on the running board and turn the steering wheel a little to stay on the road. So those are the two wheels. Hey,
Nothing's there.
I could make it fit, but I'm not going to. All
Ah,
right.
that is actually a good point. You might take a keyword and totally fit it within your own solve. So don't go confirmation bias, but we wanted to hit the words that we know that we believe are key in the poem. So like the first one, let's put in halt.
Okay, so
And-
Davio just asked for catcher, so I did this real quick. Catcher in the Rye, Catcher in the Rye. He mentions the book twice.
Have you...
I've never read Catcher in the Rye.
I went and
no.
bought it because it was a stinking hunt. Because
Catcher,
I haven't
so-
read it since high school.
So I reached in the trash for Catcher. So basically he references the book 4 times, Davio. So Catcher
Okay.
is in the book 4 times.
Here's a
But-
funny one.
Yeah.
Somebody told... This is how horrible I was and how I followed vets when I shouldn't have. someone told me when I was up in Yellowstone, so I reached for the trash to catch her, that I needed to go into a dumpster. I want you to know I did not go into the dumpster. I did go to the location of the place that the person told me to, and I didn't go into the dumpster. But some people believe that was enough to say the treasure chest is in the bottom of a dumpster.
That's a man-made structure, isn't it? The dumpster.
It's a dumpster.
Is that a
In
structure?
10 years, you don't think a dumpster would be...
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's in a dumpster anyway.
Good
but,
Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when he was asked, Forrest said, yes, Google the term structure, so you guys can look that up for yourselves.
Okay.
Okay, what's the first word we want to look up from
I think we should go with halt, because we say
Halt,
where warm
yes.
waters halt, which waters is there too many times, so...
All right, so check it out. Now, this is the Stout-Hearted Men poem, right?
Okay.
Give me some men who are stout-hearted men who will fight for the right they adore. Start me with 10 who are stout-hearted men, and I'll soon give you 10,000 more. Shoulder to shoulder and boulder to boulder, they grow as they go to the fore. And there's nothing in the world can halt or mar a plan, Marvel gaze, when stout-hearted men can stick together man to man. So the word halt is in this poem. I don't know what that means, if anything.
I think that relates to his time as a serviceman.
Right,
and I just
right.
listened to the 90 minutes that is in the Library of Congress yesterday because it was on my brain, and talk about
you
somebody.
listened to it?
Yes, and he's sitting there with another couple of veterans that are talking about, well, when I was in the, and I'm going to get totally everything wrong, the AR-27 plane, and there was a prop this, and when I came off that, and it was so amazing how it was like Chinese to me, but it meant something to these men, and they were so inspired by it. It was awesome.
So someday, will all of the land in New Mexico be covered with houses and asphalt, which has the word halt in it? So obviously the treasure's in New Mexico, right?
Okay, wait a minute. So did you know down in Temple, Texas, his house has been burned down actually several times.
Yeah.
And all that lays is an asphalt. It's actually a cement block. Which
Foundation?
was the, yes.
Yeah.
Why
What
is
does
that
mean?
still there?
Oh, why? Nobody. I'm surprised he doesn't buy it and do something with it.
I'm surprised too. So is that a hint?
Who knows? I don't know. I
Wait,
mean,
you can't just discount. These are true rabbit holes. We
Well,
can spend hours and hours.
well, that's
on
what I'm
it,
saying,
Michael.
is we're just trying to show people where these words are in the book. I don't know if we have time to go into the rabbit holes. So the word halt is in the poem. The word halt is in the Stout-Hearted Men poem, and then the word halt is in the word asphalt in the book. So it's really only in the book twice.
So Jimmy Slow-Mo, I'm just going to say
search
Jimmy because
full
I
words
think
only,
I
but
can
go
tell
ahead.
by the avatar it's Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy says, can the word doc tell which words are used only once? Yeah, but you'd have to put the word in because like when we put in hold, it says 3 results. So we know how many it's used once.
And there might be an advanced setting where it's like only look for HALT,
Yeah.
not, but I'm not sure
Like
how to
if
do
then
it. So,
or something, yeah.
We'll just go through it. All right, what's the next one? Should we look up warm for warm waters? And I want
Sure.
to find out if...
I want to know blaze. I want to know why.
Oh, and then, of course, there's the bronze, right? They couldn't understand why it was cold to the touch when it was in a warm room. And rather than tell them the bronze
so you
felt
have
cold,
to touch it, like dip your toe in it?
I think he's trying to tell us we're talking about temperature. Yeah,
Subtle.
warm waters
It's
is
subtle.
temperature.
It's subtle.
Touch, their hands were warm, so that's twice.
Touch, hands.
Olga was a delightful woman with a warm and giving heart. So we know about Olga and her tea. I felt a serene sense of warmth. Now, warm, you could say it's in satisfaction. And a lot of people think warm does mean comfortable to Forrest. So Olga made him feel warm. And then warm in the poem. Kelly and Zoe provided warm comfort and encouraged me to fight the despair. So I think this is when he got
Okay, this
cancer.
is a key sentence to someone in the room, and I will...
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
I will not say, but isn't it interesting? I don't know if said person, they have a very specific solve, and this is a sentence that goes to their solve. So would this help them with that? Oh, okay. Keep going. Sorry.
But the second the minute hand touched 8 o'clock, Father would give us a few seconds to warm our pillows, and that was it. So I would say every time the word warm is used in this book, it's that it's physically warm. Either it's comfortable or the temperature's warm. In spring, the weather was warm. Now, do we have waters that go with it? So let's
search
look up
waters.
Yeah, plural.
Toby's in the house.
Okay.
Search waters, plural.
The grass sees, and the trees and rushing waters of the spring creek also see. Okay, so he's talking about waters in a creek. It's in here 6 times. Floating caddis upon those same waters, great places which were personal secrets to me then. But again, if he has subtle hints, it's not subtle. If he's like warm waters are as a personal secret to me, is that subtle? I don't know. I don't know what he meant by subtle.
Wait. Let's read this whole sentence. Those great places which were personal and secret to me then are now busy with the flourish of fishermen and women. Damn,
he adds women, yeah.
Who cares?
So women can't be fishermen. I don't know. I'm not sure what he meant by that. Why didn't he just say fishermen and fisherwomen? Oh, he meant fishermen and women that are... Okay, men and women are fishing. I get it now. All right. Who cast a midge or floating caddis upon those same waters, never knowing I had been there or even caring yes or no, and never knowing that a treasure chest is now there, and they probably walk right by it. You know, there. Okay.
Hold on. Don't you go away from that.
Go ahead.
But I know that the season slowly changed, and the leaves of life fall and reborn anew. So do the names of those whose waters and chalk the memories once again. This time for themselves, I hope they feel a reverence I once did and now still do.
I mean, that really sounds like his special place. How special those hours were spent watching the waters deepen into cobalt as the flow slowly bent around a bank. It does seem like, in the poem says, beginning where warm waters halt, and right here he's talking about special places and the waters of his special place. But does that really, we know we're looking for waters, so does this really help us find where warm waters
Okay,
halt?
let me ask you a question, Room. If you were to say yes or no to this, you don't need to say anything else but yes or no. Is your WWWH actually water? Actually like H2O water?
Many others who have loved those waters before and after me understand that catching fish is not what it's about. It's the being there in the tranquility of silence of oneself, or within the gentle call of a friend when he hooks a nice one or tells you of the moose and calf that just came out of the pines. So, I mean, this to me sounds like a spot where he could have went to.
Okay, so let's go back here. We have people both saying yes or no. Some people are laughing, but we have yes, no, yes, no, yes, 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 no, no, yes, no. So when we say, "Oh, it's waters," because it's obvious because it's waters.
Right.
You and I assume that.
I know
because
people. It's
Forrest has said, "Dip your toe in it." He told Scott. He told me. He said it on audio, but some people don't believe that. And one of my solutions was Nez Perce Trail, and it wasn't actually waters. Now I will say it's an absolute for me. It has to be waters. But that doesn't mean it's so.
So it looks like whenever he's talking about waters in the book, which is 5 times outside of the poem, he is talking about the waters of a creek or waters related to fishing.
Toby said how it is 4 times in fly waters.
Oh, now see, fly waters, I don't have a searchable time.
No,
so I think somebody
like
does.
The chapter,
What?
I think fly waters, not the book.
Oh, gotcha. You mean
because
what chapter?
Forrest has already said, and this is where I give a shout out to Illinois Ghost. Illinois Ghost had gotten one of his books and asked, "Are there hints in it?" And I think it was fly waters. It might have been $17 a square inch, and his answer was no. And so I followed up with that because I did the Forrest Clarifies for a while and said, Forrest, I'll put this on the web on Thor. Are there any of your 9 books before your TTOTC? Are there hints in any of them for the treasure chest? And he said no. So that rules out. I was collecting all of his books, and some of them are really expensive. And so that let me know. I now have put my eyes on every single one of them. I don't own all of them. I'm trying to collect them over time, but it's expensive to do. So I don't know.
Well, the word waters is in this chapter one time, which is the chapter of My War for Me, which is, of course, is a very important chapter to certain people. If I could just find the beginning of the chapter, it's up here somewhere. Unless I've missed a chapter title somewhere.
Or maybe it doesn't have chapter. Yeah, yours had chapter titles.
Yeah, it did.
Gosh, darn it, you mean. Darn it.
So right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is my secret fishing hole. The name of the chapter is...
I don't think it has chapter titles. Try to see that.
It should.
I don't know.
Fly water. Yeah, here we go. Fly water. So yeah, the word and the word water is in fly water.
Okay.
So that does kind of lead. It might lead some credence that the water he's talking about are fishing waters, which I know it's Toby's tying it into the New Mexico fishing regulation. Do you know how waters can actually halt the name? Somebody told me an eddy. Does that make sense? But I don't know if I see that or not. What's the name, William?
Okay. As William is thinking about that, and the delay is catching up. So I actually think the key word is it. How many times does it come up?
Oh, that's going to be a lot, right?
Yeah.
Well, see, because it's in every other word.
Yeah.
See, I don't know how you can go in advanced to say.
Yeah, to say full words or something like that.
So it's 753, the letters IT together.
Oh my God,
are in the book.
753, that means something to me.
Right. How about begin it? How about begin?
Okay, it's
5
in the poem.
results.
It's in the poem.
People, beginning to notice me. I was beginning to learn. People, beginning to learn where the edges were. I was beginning to like myself. So the word begin, singular, I guess you could say, or just the word begin is not in the book, other than the poem. So how about Canyon? Now, we do know there's Canyon Street, right? In West Yellowstone, because we were just there a month ago. Canyon. Canyon Street. Now, I have about people who have said it's Canyon Street is the canyon down. I don't know how that works. I don't know where they get warm water's halt, but that was many years before the streets were paved, so deep potholes on Canyon Street were often filled with water that was fair game. So it's interesting how he put water and canyon together, and we're trying to find where warm waters halt, and then we take it down.
Canyon down, which
I
would be a
think he's
pothole.
doing this on purpose.
So you think it's in a pothole? Did you just break this loose?
No, but I'm just saying, I think he's written this a certain way.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about washing dishes and pans had to be washed by hand in scalding water. My hands turned white and had deep canyons in them.
Well, so KJ says you're looking in the wrong place. Go search some words on Forrest's site. You mean
Why?
Old Santa Fe Trading Company? I don't know.
But he didn't say look at Old Santa Fe Trading Company. He said you need to throw the chase in the poem. So that's why I kind of stick with
He did
the
not
book.
say you needed it. It says it helps you with subtle hint. Actually, he probably did say it.
Yeah. And then Red Canyon. Him and his friend went to Red Canyon. So, and then again he talks about Canyon Road, Kachina Gallery. So the big do not touch. So again, guys, and this is maybe this video is more so for people who maybe don't have the book, who've never read the book. They get an idea of what's in here. But
Well, and this is the beginning of I don't think we have a set process yet of how we're going to use TTOTC. Do we start with postcards or postmarks? I know there's quite a few searchers because they've told me about it. They are walking through right now postmarks and why there's errors in them, and it's a huge project with thousands of hours. Some have really dug into the illustrations. Davio did some illustrations of Rockwell, the illustrations, what are the differences. Susie and Sassy on the one, I think they did the differences. I don't remember which show that was. But, and then just how the book is set up in general. We were going to go chapter by chapter, and a lot of people said, no, don't do that. And so there's a lot of no's, this isn't the right way to do it, but we're trying to figure out, we have 166 words and we go crazy. Look at it. We have all of this to go through.
Yeah.
How do we start for all of the different ways that we need to look at this poem with so many different solves, and how can we be useful to all, 200, 300, 400 in chat, and then, several hundred more normally. Or several thousand more that will watch every week. So that's what we're trying to dig into right now. So I don't know. I don't know. What say you, Michael?
I say these hints are in here. I just don't know if we can figure them out or not. Hints as it relates to the clues in the poem. He said hints help with the clues in the poem.
Why does he say not deliberately placed?
Because there is nowhere that says, here's the hint. This is a hint. That's what he means by deliberately placed in my mind. There is nowhere that says, this is a hint. Figure it out. We don't know what the hints are. They're not deliberately placed to aid us. We have to figure out where they are and what they mean.
Okay, so here's my interpretation of that. I think he means, I'm talking about Yellowstone. Can I make it any more obvious? It's Yellowstone. That's not deliberate like Yellowstone, but come on, guys. Pick up on this.
But he never comes right out and says, this is a hint. That's what he means by deliberately placed. And the other thing is, somebody asked him, the 9 clues are in order in the poem, and he said, yes, they're contiguous, right?
Yes.
But then somebody said, are the hints in the book the same way? And he said, no, the hints in the book are not. So the hints in the book may not be in order.
Right.
He said, no, they're not placed the same way in the book. So
does this search criteria need to apply to synonyms? And
I hope
actually,
not.
William's exactly
but it
right.
could.
He tells us to look up roots of words and definitions of words.
So that's a good point.
Yes.
That could be how he's hidden these hints in here. So what's a synonym for warm? You know what I mean?
Oh, good God, man.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean,
No, but this takes it exponentially into.
I know.
Yeah. So that is why this is not easy, and you just have to do it a million times.
All right. What's another word we want to look up?
I'd like to look up. What about blaze?
Yeah, and that isn't. It's just interesting that all these main keywords are in his book. They're in the poem, but they're in the book
blaze
too.
is only in there once.
No, all right. Then the map. That they may be misspelled. We got a map. I thought, oh, maybe the word blaze isn't there. Okay, so in other words, him and Donnie are out hiking. The first night we couldn't get the dumb fire started, and we had already used most of our matches. So we very wisely wadded the map and hoped that we would be forgiven that one small foible. It worked, and as the fire crackled and our horses wandered off, we ate our 3 candy bars and talked long into the night. So a lot of people have said very wisely, if you've been wise and found the blaze, that this line could mean the blaze is on a map. In other words, they took a map and they lit it on fire to make their campfire. They made a blaze, and because it says, I grew very wisely, I thought the word blaze was here in the sentence, but it's not, so I was wrong. So the word blaze is only in the poem.
Here's 2 different words, both hint and riches. Hintofriches.com.
You want me to look up hint?
Yeah, hint
there we
came
go.
from
Hint.
somebody, and then riches
Hint of
came
riches, new and old, is in the poem, and he was quick to take the hint. So, okay. Oh, this is my favorite line in the book. Anyway, after telling my parents that my elbow needed some room, this is how he was asking them to take a horse and go on the Lewis and Clark trail. I mentioned to my friend Donnie and Joe that I was going out to look for Lewis and Clark. He was quick to take the hint and said he would just ride along and help keep the mountains company. So that is the one use of the word hint outside of the poem. What's another one?
Riches.
New and
How
old.
many times does the word star appear?
Riches is only in the poem, everybody. Whoever asked that. The word star, somebody say star?
Yeah, how many times does star?
All right. I know there are some astronomy solves out there. Now, see, star, now it's up 73 times, but it's star is part of a word like started. Let's see if we'll go through them real quick and just see if the word star. Why is it not finding it? Started. The word started is in there a lot. Started.
See, William just says Cowlazars. That's it.
Is the word Cowlazars in the book? No, it's not. I checked. Start with me. I don't know if the word star is in the book. Started. The word started is in here a lot.
Started.
A 4-star general, so I take it back. The word star is in the book. A 4-star general in Saigon gave his blessing, but keep him in South Vietnam.
So Toby said, start it with a space and end it with a space.
Oh, I see. Good call. So I think Toby's done this before. He's probably done a show on this before.
I've watched his shows on this, and they're awesome because people put in words that look, Babe Ruth rather than Baby Ruth. Why is that?
Yeah.
Where's an error? There's an aberration, and we're living on the edge. Okay, start.
Yeah, so in other words,
No
could that
matches.
be to draw our attention to this, right? And then if you, as you keep reading, it says, and we got a map of the Gallatin National Forest that would come in handy later on. How was it handy? They set it on fire. They wisely made a blaze out of the map.
So just put a space after, not before.
4-star general, that's it.
4-star general.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
How about Marvel? I don't think Marvel's in here other than the poem, but let's see.
4-star general is Toby's saying star is not in the book, but 4-star general is.
Right, that's what we just looked up, right?
Yeah.
How about gaze? Marvel gaze. Oh, it is in here somewhere else.
So the big thing is we're looking for
the
a
Billy's
process.
Gazette. So never mind. Yeah. How about chest? Well, he's probably going to talk about the chest, right? I took a chest and filled it with. Yeah,
13.
filled the treasure chest, bronze chest. The chest was Romanesque, treasure chest. So he's talking about the actual treasure chest. Autobiographies in the chest, and they started filling the chest with gold coins. I knew exactly where to hide the chest, so it would be difficult to find, but not impossible.
Not impossible.
It's in the mountains north of Santa Fe.
Forrest, it's impossible.
Yeah. So that's why I waited so long to secret my cache. So he does call it a cache. That's kind of interesting.
Well, and somebody on Facebook was talking about why he used the word trove and what it meant, and It was really interesting.
Now, here's one I never caught. A lot of people think the autobiography that's in the olive jar is important. The same autobiography that's in the treasure chest is also in the jars, which are decorated mostly with dragonfly or frog designs. So that's cool. I didn't realize, I forgot that the autobiography is in those jars. Now, nobody knows where the jars are, so I don't think he's ever given any clues. But some year, somebody will probably find it.
Okay. Well, so if you were to say, and you want to be bold and kind of throw it out there, we're beginning with some ideas, which is like keywords. But as we look, and Toby and Shelley have already done the book club that goes chapter by chapter by chapter.
Yes.
Did you already look for whys? Put in whys. How do we begin to make sure that everyone is included in these discussions of chapter by chapter or keywords? Do we take a set of keywords? Do we walk through it? Does it relate to chapters? Do we relate to postmarks? I know all the postmarks are up on the AGK side as well. So those are the things that we're kind of sifting through now, trying to figure out. I mean, we've already taken so much of tackling the 166 words. Now we need to tackle this at a whole different level because there's so many words. There's so many stories. Do we only hit certain themes, like his time in Yellowstone? Maybe that doesn't mean that it's Yellowstone. That's just things that he fell in love with there. Or his time at war, or. And Toby, I asked this last night in your chat. I was only in there for a few minutes, but I actually contacted the Library of Congress today, and I was able to get them to respond. There's been some additional pieces, not by Forrest, but by others, and actually there are some others as well, that have added to Forrest, when Forrest is searched down, what's been added. And I think that's interesting. And I was wondering if, Toby, you have done any additional. I think it was a year, maybe a year and a half ago, that you and Shelley went to Washington, D.C. and went to the Library of Congress and talked with them. There's been some additions since then. Are they skullduggery at this point? Are they shenanigans? Or is it something we should be looking at? That's something that I wanted to ask him.
Yes, we did search wise.
Nelica's in Santa Fe right now. She just said hi from Santa Fe. Hi, Nelica.
Hi, Nelica. How are you?
So, hello. And I already told you what to do on Facebook. Say hi to Forrest. That's awesome. So, let's see. I'm going to
Peak means peak, P-I-Q-U-E, which can mean a chest with inlay, but I don't understand how that helps anything.
Hi from Lou Lee. Hi, Lou Lee. Okay. Didn't he say he took the reason out of the biography that told him why he chose his spot? I don't know. Do you know that?
Yeah, he says he had an autobiography in there, but then he took it out. I can't remember the exact quote, but there is something in there. And I thought he said that what's in the olive jar is not just a copy of The Thrill of the Chase. It's an actual autobiography, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, so this is we found the interview at the Library of Congress. That's the one I think it's about 91 minutes, and I listened to it last night or this morning or somewhere in between. But they've added a couple of his books, not including TTOTC, and some other people have added some things on his behalf. Eric.
Guys.
That's okay, they're just chatting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. Some things have been added. Did they get added at certain times that we need to be worried about or looking at? Does that even matter? I just think just because he references, put your memoir in the Library of Congress, why did he do that when his is not in the Library of Congress? Why would he do that? Mike, answer this for me.
No idea.
No, you need to solve it. This will cut everything loose.
No idea.
Okay.
Oh, look, this isn't in the book. Did somebody point this out, or is this how it is in the book? Did he misspell it on the back?
Yes, he misspelled it.
I know, but is this in the actual Thrill of the Chase? These red
no,
arrows?
the red is
yeah,
not.
okay.
The red is
So we
not.
put the E instead of the A.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Dancing with the New Millennium.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing with the Stars, and then the one I like is
we
when he
have
thanks
a
Thor.
super chat for the super chat challenge.
Robert Arrington, thank you.
Didn't Forrest say that this place was a place that he visited only a few times?
I think so.
Yes.
People have said that. Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't that not make sense? If it was so special to him, why was he only there a few times? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
And Jimmy Slow-Mo
So that's
says,
correct,
I'm getting
Robert.
used to adjusting to that. Forrest mistrusts the government. Yes. In my opinion, yes. So, and he only visited a few times. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Let's just say, for sake of discussion, it's somewhere up in Yellowstone. It could have been far enough out that he couldn't act. If it was somewhere really close to where him and his family stayed, I don't think he could have gotten there. I think it was super special, but it took so far out. I'm going to tell
You
him.
mean a remote location?
Yeah, more remote,
okay.
like when he goes the 90 some odd miles
Right.
on his bike. So I'll give a short story. Back in the day, I used to make jewelry. And this was back when I was little, which was like 40 years ago. 35 years ago, however many years ago. There wasn't like Michael's and all of that, like Walmart has it now. I used to go to the beach shop, but the beach shop was an hour away, so I could only go once every 6 months. But I loved that place. I think it's something similar.
Maybe. I mean, somebody points out, like they pointed this out before, that he didn't say only a few times, he said a few times. I don't know how that changes the sentence when you remove the word only. I've only been back a few times, or I've been back. Oh, I've only been there a few times, or I've been there a few times.
Okay, let me say. Where do I play poker? I've been to Bally's. I've been there a few times. Mm-hmm. Or I've been there only a few times. You know how many times I've been to Bally's. Or where do you play poker?
It doesn't.
No, I can see it makes a difference.
Yeah, okay.
Have you?
All right.
Okay,
So what the correction was he did not say the word only.
Right. So if he says, I've been there a few times, it's like, I've been there. I've done that. I could have done it a million times.
So he said, I've been there a few times. Not only a few times. He said, I've been there a few times. And a few is how many? More than 3, right? You have to look up the definition of the word few now. Several, less than several, but more than a couple. Isn't that how it works? Something like that?
Well, and Silverstone, it says, obviously no one here knows how to piece together a jigsaw puzzle.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means, but...
you start with the 4 corners in a jigsaw puzzle. At least I do. You get the straight edge and you get the 4 corners.
What about if it's one that's a circle?
Yeah,
you have to try the wheel.
And what if it's flipped face down? You don't even see.
Or what if it's a double-sided? I used to do the double-sided puzzles.
Right.
Kids don't lie. Just ask them. Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Paddle. There'll be no paddle up your creek. Oh, I just stand there and wait for my turn at the paddle. So he's saying his mom did not spank him in the creek.
Did you put in Thor?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, Thor. Okay. So he says thank Thor instead of thank God. Or,
it's a hint. Some people ask me,
did Forrest... It stands out. Was praying thanks to Thor because he was holding my... He says praying, so it's thanks to God, but he says thanks to Thor. There it is. There's Thor right there.
I have been asked, did Forrest weigh in on the Hint of Riches? THOR.
The name of the website?
Uh-huh.
And the answer is, drum roll.
No, not at all.
So that was all you.
Yeah. He didn't even know of it. I sent it to him. He was like, where's your site? When I finally launched. He did know for a while that it was going to be launched, and we talked about kind of how he was going to contribute, which he did.
See, so this is also how I look at when he made this statement. The hints are not deliberately placed to aid the searcher. Right here he says, I didn't have a clue what we'd learned.
January 14 Forever says, and I'm going to question this, but hold on.
Go ahead.
Authors are required to send a copy of their books to the Library of Congress by law. Is that if you have a registered ISBN? If that is not, I mean, that what I would need a little bit more information because I actually have a little bit of information on that. So I don't know if that's the case. Like what?
I don't have no idea. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's a factual statement.
Like if it's like Cynthia Meacham, she has a book. Is she required to put it at the Library of Congress? There's some other searchers. There's probably 5-10 searchers that have. Are they required? I have never heard that. I don't know. So.
So what I was saying is, he says right here, I didn't have a clue. It almost seems like, hey, look, he used the word clue. Maybe what he's about to say is important. And he says he was praying thanks to Thor because he was holding my hand and smiling.
You see, he endorses Thor.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
Yeah, I see that. So the word Thor, he doesn't use God. He says praying thanks to God, but he says Thor. So how could Thor be a hint? But when he says I didn't have a clue, I don't think it's... In other words, if whenever he used the word clue, there was a hint in that sentence, that is deliberately placed, because then we would know. So that's what I think he means by they're not deliberately placed. You got to figure them out. Why did he use the word Thor? I don't know.
Yeah,
that's the whole comic book connection with Marvel.
That's what Hillbilly Hound just said. Thor is a Marvel comic character.
Right, that's the whole Marvel. I went down that road years ago of all the is warm waters in a Marvel comic somewhere, and that's what we're looking for. Yeah, I did the whole thing.
Comic book.
Which I'd love it if that was it, because he also has Hulk in here. Check it out. He's got Thor. He's got Hulk. Hulk of a dirty name. I mean, it is the Avengers, basically. And I think.
Haven't you seen Avengers? Thor is so dreamy.
No, he didn't.
He is a god. That's what he says. That's what T. Brown says.
Superstition, but he didn't have Superman. But yeah, he mentions Hulk.
Well, what
and
about
he mentions
Kent?
Thor.
What about Kent or Clark? Clark. No, Clark.
No.
Let's try Clark. Oh,
Lewis and Clark.
Lewis and
there
Clark.
you go.
Clark. Oh, there you go. Do you see the rabbit holes? They turn up anywhere.
There is a lot.
So, Thor is a lightning god, and his horse was named Lightning in Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, right, isn't it? Yeah, and what's interesting is on the... Where's the book? What'd you do with it?
I don't know.
You had it. Did you leave it over there?
I left it over here.
Oh, can you
I'll be
grab
right
it,
back.
please? So he says in the dust jacket, and I did a vlog on this a long time ago, but he says...
I'm in the same room as Cowlazars.
Or did he say? Oh, maybe it is in the book then. All right, let me look it up. Here you go.
Thank you. Lily. What's going on? You guys together? Ha I've been away. Yes, this is not a split screen. Isn't this cool? Woo,
we are together in more ways than one.
I can touch him.
So check it out. He says in the book, right after the poem, he says there are other subtle clues sprinkled in the stories. He uses the word sprinkled. Well, what sprinkles but water, right? So what I did is said, okay, since he talks about the clues are sprinkled, how many times does he use the word rain? Because rain can sprinkle. That's strain. That's not it. Brains is not it. Does he use the word rain? So right here. So one day when it was raining, I went to Borders to see about those books. Why does he mention it's raining? Isn't that an odd thing to just say, oh, it was raining when I went to Borders?
Okay, but wait. I think we need to take a step back. Mm-hmm. We didn't want to mandate the way that we're going to analyze TTOTC.
Yeah, go ahead.
We started with keywords because we thought that would start some brainstorming ideas. Like you guys are saying so many different words that we hadn't thought about before, and some people are. You can keep looking for theirs as I keep going.
Okay.
So what is the best way? I mean, we've all read the book. Those of us that have the book, we've all read the book. So he's talked about, look at the stories. So when you look at the stories, what does that mean? What is that next step?
Talking about a string ball. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, what is the next step?
What is the next step for us? Because we don't want to just, tonight is about brainstorming, but what's the next step? The next step is how are we going to actually analyze this?
Well, to me, I thought because he says the clues are sprinkled that you look for the word rain. The word rain is in the book 3 times. And it's just weird. It seems out of place. So in other words, one afternoon, I walked home from school in the rain, and his string ball had disappeared. It just wasn't there anymore. I tried to explain to my mother.
Can I get one?
No, you cannot have a Mountain Dew. No, you're too little.
Little.
I tried to explain to my mother that since the ball couldn't get out of my room, it was somewhat difficult for anyone to steal it. And she didn't answer. She just kept nodding and looking out the window. It's like she was waiting for the postman or something. So because the word rain is a placeholder for a clue or a hint, and he mentions postman, does that mean the postmarks hold something? Is there a postmark maybe in this chapter? I'm just looking. I just hope that whatever the hints are in this book, that there is a logical and methodical way to figure out what those are. And they're not just random things. You just have to try and figure them out.
And that's the thing that I think, need to, at least for us, focus on.
Yeah, you can have one of those. Give one to Chris. Yeah.
That's what we need to decide upon as we jump into TTOTC.
Right.
Just my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing.
Popsicle time.
Yeah, go ahead. Did you eat a taco, Eric? Eric.
No.
Well, you need to. And then he says, the end of my rainbow and the treasure. And it's just weird little water references.
I didn't order a soft one. I ordered a Dorito.
So did Chris eat all his? All 3?
Mm-hmm.
Ask him. So yeah, that's just one theory on maybe, that he mentions twice when he goes to Borders it was raining. That he mentions when the ball string disappeared, he says it was raining. Okay, well there's a soft taco if you want one.
Here,
So it just seems weird.
Wait. These
What
are
do you
the
guys think?
These are the important things. We need a popsicle.
That's right, Luli.
What are we saying?
She said parenting and multitasking. Love it.
Yeah, that's what we do. Here we go. Ready? This is the most important thing.
Oh, look
there you
at
go.
that.
There you have it.
That's what warm water's called in that popsicle right there.
Silly goose.
Oh, you know what? Let's see
Thank
how
you,
many times the
Mr.
word cold appears. Because your effort will be worth the cold, and if we're looking for more warm waters halt, guess what are we looking for? We're looking for cold waters. Nobody touches on that.
No, I totally disagree
It
with
says
you.
your effort will be worth the cold, because
Your
that's
effort-
where warm waters halt.
No, he doesn't say it on the same line.
One cold
as,
morning when bed. Go ahead.
It's amazing when Mike is wrong how he just had just
cold mornings.
doses.
Look at this. He's mentioning cold in the book.
Right, and what do you need on a cold morning? Freezing. Oh, do you want a cold iced tea? No, you want something warm that you can tip your toe in and get in and bathe in. Yeah, bathe. I said it.
Okay.
I
So
said
to
it.
know
Okay.
where
Your toe is not the only thing I think you need to tip in. I'm going to throw it out there. I think you can get in there and bathe. River bathing is best. Why is river bathing best? Because that's where Forrest loves. I'm throwing it out there. It's not just the
That's
toe.
not subtle. It's too easy.
Oh, yeah, because this whole thing is easy. And that would break it loose. Okay, let's just say, for sake of discussion, where warm water's hold is somewhere you can bathe.
Right.
Is it solved?
But where you bathe is not where it halts. It's further upstream somewhere. If you're bathing in the warm waters, that's not where it halts. Where does it halt?
Simplify. You're getting into the... like.
I'm doing what the poem tells me to do. I'm trying to figure out where the warm waters halt. And if they halt, it must be either boiling hot or freezing cold, right? One or the other?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, hold on. January Forever 17 says it's named mandatory legal deposit that all authors send 2 copies of their books in the Library of Congress. Define authors for me. Is that a registered ISBN? Is that like...
What about a self-published author? Yeah.
Like a self-published author, somebody that... somebody said copyright violation that because somebody referenced somebody's website. Do all websites have to be... I don't know. I don't know if I haven't heard that if that's the case. Aberration, a departure for what is normal, usual, and
well, maybe we should just ask Forrest. Did you try and send your book to the Library of Congress? Did it get denied? I mean, I don't know how that is. It an application? I think somebody's answered this, but I don't remember what the answer is.
well. And do you see what Toby said?
What do you put?
Aberration.
A departure from what is normal, usual, or expected. Typically one that is unwelcome. Oh, typically one that is unwelcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I looked that up yesterday after we were talking about aberrations.
Well, to me, thank Thor is an aberration. It's a departure from thank God, which is the normal phrase, the normal saying. Now, I don't know about unwelcome.
Why is it? Yeah, I was gonna say, why is it unwelcome then?
Well, it's typically one that is So, what's unwelcome in the book? I wonder.
Okay,
I mean, when
so
you got lost. that
okay,
might be
I
one.
love this kind of comment.
Yeah.
Leka Lee. Hello, everyone. Brand spanking new to the chase. Thank you, everyone who has given info, thoughts, theories, of boots on the ground info. That's all we're doing here is throwing out some ideas. Mike and I will usually debate a topic for a while and then bring our conclusions here. This one on how do we tackle TTOTC is one that we really have, we don't have a good, we've started today and just looking at different keywords, but that can't be the way that we tackle this entire TTOTC. So, I don't know.
Well, we're coming up on an hour. It goes quick. It goes very quick. But we just thought we would look for some keywords. Is there another one we want to do?
Do we hit...
Trove?
What about
I don't think the
brown?
word
Did
trove
we hit
is in the
brown?
book, other than there. No, yes. Oh, no, we didn't hit
No,
brown,
we
did we? And is it capital B brown? Other than the
That one is...
A heavy brown color. It was the only one in the trick, the sliding, I mean. And that's when he slides down the rusty...
rusty old...
iron thing. Heavy brown color. I'd like to take a brown bag to school. When they came brown out of the oven. Brown gravy. So everything, the word brown that's in the book is referencing to color.
But none of it's capitalized. Go to the next one.
Yeah, none of it's capitalized. Whoops.
Okay.
But
let's
none
see.
of it's capitalized. And pronoun, because it's capitalized, would not be a color, right? Person, place, or thing is not a color. So
Hillbilly Hound says, I have the answers. All you have to do is ask. Hillbilly Hound, where's the treasure chest?
Okay. Right.
Okay, let's see.
Brown sugar, somebody said.
Oh, yeah, somebody has said, Hillbilly, where's
No place for the meek is meek in the book. anywhere other than the poem. No, it's not. The word meek is not anywhere else. How about the word nigh? No, that's night. All right, let me do it this way. All right, no, it is not. So.
Yeah.
2 Ceylon sapphires and numerous small diamonds. So this is what's in the gold chest. Bronze chest.
Jono says opposite. I don't know what that means.
Looked up the word opposite?
Try G. Okay, put in this word. G-U-E.
Oh, that's the cow. Yeah, Guernsey. Guernsey. Is that spelled right? I got a Guernsey calf. Now, a lot of people have said fawn colored means brown. Like a fawn. Like a deer? I don't know. Maybe I got that wrong. But some people say fawn colored. I just changed that. It means brown. Back. I got a Guernsey calf. That's it. Just the one time that he's talking about the cow. We call her Bessie. I love that old cow, and it was fun to milk her before school and again after supper. Right.
Okay, my mom lived on a farm and had to milk the cows every morning, and it wasn't fun. And every afternoon, but that's okay.
And then he squirts the cats with the milk.
Guernsey is a town in Wyoming, Susie Fenhaven says. Huh.
Ah, okay. See, there's so many different ways we can go with this.
Yeah, and Sheriff Billy says maybe we look at the names of each chapter. Is that subtle? Is that subtle or not?
Right. Because there is no index or there is no table of contents in the beginning. He doesn't list where all the names of all the chapters anywhere. You just got to go through and figure them out yourselves. And there's the calf right there. There's the Guernsey calf. So that's funny. It's almost like that was his pet dog. I mean, looks like they had a dog, but it seems like the cow was kind of his pet. So, and there is that postmark.
Yeah, the postmark have errors in them.
Right.
Are those the intentional ones?
And here's the thing that I thought was interesting. If you put in the word smart, my parents were smart that way. The older you get, the smarter your parents become. He was really smart that way, which he's talking about his father. And then for his mother, he says she was smart like that. So it almost seems as if because they're smart and we're trying to find hints, is it whenever he talks about his parents? Is that a placeholder for a clue? So, street smarts. Savvy 101 and street smarts 102. My parents were smart that way, yeah. And then, when...
Look up wood, somebody asked.
Oh, Raven in the Wood, okay. Wooden Beauties, I could get a quarter. Let's do Wooden Bridge. I don't know if wooden works. No, wood is only in the poem, and that's it.
I thought there was 4.
Wooden Beauties. Well, is this wooden count as wood?
Sure.
Wooden Beauties.
Sure, and use your imagination.
Wooden Beauties. Let me try this again.
Look up diamonds, please, from Tony Driver.
Sometimes it doesn't want to move. Wooden Sign, Wooden Beauties, Wooden Bridge.
Oh,
there are 4. You said
that's
diamond?
a man-made structure, yes.
Diamond or plural?
Try diamond.
So numerous and small diamonds in the treasure chest. And that's it. I just put diamond singular, and that's it.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm no closer to how we tackle this.
That's the literally $1 million question, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I like the idea of if we took all the aberrations and they were all missing letters, do we put those letters together? Is it like more systematic in advance?
Right. Could it be something like that?
Somebody said the missing letters at the beginning.
Has anybody asked in any of the questions, Jenny Kyle's questions, all the words, has anybody asked them? Has anybody ever figured out any of the hints in the Thrill of the Chase? I just wondering if anybody's asked him if he said no. Like nobody's figured them out, or wonder what his response was. To my knowledge, nobody's figured them out. But I don't know if anybody's ever asked him that.
I don't know.
So.
I have not heard that.
Because that doesn't mean you know the clues. You've just figured out what a hint is. It would be nice just to know where in the book is a hint, and then maybe it would take us another year to figure out what it meant. But it would just be nice to know the sentence that was supposed to be a hint. Yeah. I already shut it down, Sassy, because we're at about an hour.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 more people.
Yeah.
Okay, well...
We'll come back to it for sure. I think we're going to go live Monday, right? Never know. We may go live over the weekend, but we'll see.
Yes. There's. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna go live when we go live.
We're going day by day right now, guys.
So yeah, let us start reading the book and just tackling what these hints could be.
He said that there were a couple of hints and a couple of aberrations around the edges.
Right. As far as the books, when somebody asked them.
And you look at that one painting that is in TTOTC, and then they changed it and around the edges.
Yeah, the painting. Around the edges. I like that.
Some people said the reason for that was a copyright issue, and they wouldn't let him reprint it. So I went down that rabbit hole. I think probably a lot of us.
Around the edges, yeah. Around the edges. See? What does he mean by that, everybody? And then there's the borders. The whole boy went to borders. The biddies said you can't cross the street. That's a border. Aberrations around the edges. Edges would be a border.
Border could be the streets in West Yellowstone because they border. They're like boxes. Yeah. It's like downtown.
A box canyon. I don't know.
Or the edges could be the dust jacket of TTOTC. So it's not only TTOTC, but in...
That's okay, Juno. She's 5 minutes behind. The opposite of river bathing. So that's okay.
Okay.
So, all right, everybody. I think we're going to wrap it up because I'm tired. At least tomorrow's Friday. Email us if you guys have any ideas for how we should go about tackling the hints in the Thrill the Chase. Email kpro3@aol.com or email cowlazars@gmail.com.
But email me. I'm up for hearing. We want to... Because I think it's going to take a while to really sift through it all. So I think this is the way to really jump into it.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing I did want to mention. Jens, those of you that did see the last show, Jens is doing a documentary. Some people on another forum that I'm a part of, Harry's forum, was saying it seems like he's only hitting kind of the majors, the big people that normally get hit up, which is Cynthia and Dale, etc. He is not. He wanted to show... I'm not going to talk for him, but I am going to talk for him because, hey, that's what I do. I think he was trying to show the quality, and they were there, and he showed some snippets, but Toby really hasn't been spotlighted. There was Sean. There was many other people. He has spent time with us. He is meeting searchers right now. So if you are interested, Mike will put his information in the description box. And just know that he's taking a different angle. He's not going to just do some boots on the ground stories. He doesn't exactly know where it's going to be, but he is trying to figure out where this happens through his interviews with different searchers. So he's specifically looking for boots on the ground, either video or
Davio says Jens interviewed him today. So that's awesome, Davio.
Very cool.
Good
very
job.
Cool.
Good deal.
Yeah, so I know he made contact today. He was with us last weekend. I know he was like, thanks for the shout out because he's gotten a lot of new leads. He is somebody that seems, I don't know him, but it seems that, I don't know him personally, I should say. Now we've spent some time with him. He seems to genuinely want to take a different angle, and I think it's going to be positive and wonderful, but there's new ground here. So if you have a story to tell, he's asked about a few searchers and kind of different stories that have hit the media and what does that mean and all that. He's trying to get up to date very quickly. So I just wanted to throw it out again. Don't think just because I have not been, I guess I was in Money Magazine and a couple of others, but I don't think that's necessarily just because you're not kind of a famous searcher or somebody who's been on a bunch of documentaries, he's looking for new and special stories. Look at Seattle Sullivan. I've heard of Seattle Sullivan, but I didn't know him, and once I saw him, I was just like, I was inspired by the trailer. So I think he's looking for something pretty cool. So anyway.
Ken Blythe says, shouldn't you direct them to the lead searcher?
Yeah, we sure did. Who is that? Oh, that person doesn't exist. Yes, here is some air.
Yeah, right. So last video we did release the clues for the newest coin hunt. There is a mailing list. I had two people while we were doing this live video say, email me what that was. So there's a mailing list for all the clues. So if you want to join that mailing list, just email me. So what we're going to do is, because the clues it's a big long Word doc that has the clues for the newest coin hunt. So I'm going to let maybe a week go by, and then maybe we'll start giving hints on what you're supposed to do with that Word doc to try and figure out where the proxy item is. So just hang on. If you have no idea, no clue, get it. We'll give out some hints, because we do want them found. We're not hiding them so nobody can find them. And then those ones up in the Yellowstone area, I think next time we go live, we'll start giving some hints about where those are. Yeah. So, All right. Anything
So,
else?
yes, as of right now, because I'm getting a ton of questions, because so many people are saying they have the solve, or they've seen the treasure chest, or they have the treasure chest. I will tell you, as of right now, I can't continue to contact Forrest every time I get duped. Like Charlie Brown, here's the football, and I run and I kick and I contact Forrest, and he says nope, it hasn't gotten down yet. Stop it. Stop falling for it every time. I get it all the time. As of right now, Forrest has not. That has not been. It's not been found. That's it. That's like, let's put it just obvious and out there. So there you have it.
Somebody asked, did you move to Las Vegas, K-Pro?
I have not moved to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I have not.
Temporary situation,
I'm
everybody.
spending some time here, and family's spending some time here, and we're having a great time, but it's also a lot of work. I'm here for work. So yeah, it's been double, triple duty, and also trying to keep the home front going. So there's actually a lot more. So I'm sorry. I've actually missed a whole bunch of chats and things. And I do have to say, it's super hard. Like, I'm used to putting kids in bed, everything's settled down, and I get on live. And Mike gets on like right after work. That is so. I'm just not used to this.
Yeah, it's a time change. It's It's
so
different.
we're trying. We're making it work. So, but
we're still going live for you guys. So thumbs the video up for that. Okay.
Yeah, and if you have ideas, please send us. We want to tackle TTOTC.
And then I think we go to Too Far to Walk on Once Upon a While too. Oh, and that reminds me. Once Upon a While, I got to do something. All right, everybody. We will see you Monday, if not before. And thanks for tuning in. Again, if you have ideas on how we should tackle the thrill of the chase, send us an email. Let us know. We're not saying we're going to use it, but we will read all the emails anyway.
Yes.
So,
That'd
all
be
right.
great. Thank you all.
Thanks for tuning in.
Have a great night.
See ya.